Hey guys, I'm David Oxman. I am the president of Luca and Danny, and I know what you're all thinking. This guy looks like he knows a lot about jewelry. Absolutely. So I actually joined Luca and Danny about a year ago in July. Prior to that, I was head of US marketing and e-commerce at Reebok and CMO of Life is Good. I'll tell you a little bit about the journey of Luca and Danny. So Luca and Danny, we are a fashion-based jewelry brand that sort of sits at the precipice of the meaning-based space and the fast fashion space. We're a few years old, but our founder, Fred's family, has actually been in jewelry manufacturing for over 50 years out of our Cranston, Rhode Island office. And in the late 2000s, two things happened. So one, globalization decimated the jewelry business in Rhode Island. So everything that was created in the US sort of went overseas. And two, unfortunately, Fred lost his brother to leukemia, and his brother was very active in the family business. So Fred left his finance job on Wall Street, moved back home, and started Luca and Danny to really honor his brother's memory. In that moment, the idea was he was taking this leap of faith and really embracing the journey, remembering where he came from. And that's really the heart of what our purpose is at Luca and Danny. We want women to embrace their personal journey, and one great way to do it is through meaning-based jewelry that self-reflects her identity. So I'm going to talk about our journey a little bit today. We've done about 2 years worth of strategy and execution in the past 6 months, and it's really paid off. And I'm hoping for all of you that are on your personal brand journeys, maybe you can take some things away from our story. So what are we great at? We like to say that we're disrupting jewelry at the speed of culture. And what we mean by that is we have vertically integrated manufacturing. We're basically hand wrapping bracelets on demand. And we also are leveraging data and digital marketing to be faster to market than anybody in our space. So like many of you guys, we come into 2019 and we have objectives, things that we want to achieve as a brand. One is, can we build awareness? Can we get more people to recognize what we're trying to achieve, understand our purpose, and get in front of eyeballs? The second, like young growing brands looking for capital, we need to continue to hit our marks. Can we grow 50%? Can we grow 100%? Some of you guys probably have these same KPIs. And third, can we manage our spend? To be honest, historically, we've overspent on acquiring our consumer. What are we going to do to get better and more efficient? And we'll talk through what we did to do that. So my first question to you guys is, are you innovating at the speed of culture? Coming from apparel and footwear, I can tell you I'm used to 18 to 24-month cycles, but the world is just moving too quick, right? The consumer trend is moving quickly. We need to move fast. So how we're doing this, in order to move fast, we all know, what do you need to do? You need to slow down and actually have a strategy that enables you to move fast. That starts with data. We've done a lot of work on the data side where basically we're constantly reading out on consumer data. Who are they? What are they interested in? What do they want? What's going on in the world? Market trends. What's happening in fashion? And third, data scientists. Help me understand the purchase behavior, what's happening on our site, in a way in which I just can't garner from my Shopify database. And then we're taking that and we're saying, okay, how do we take all this good data and then literally hack into the consumer's cultural mindset? So for us, it looks something like this. We recognize there's an audience for us around these off-peak season holidays. St. Patrick's Day. We find a trend, so we're all familiar with a Claddagh ring. What happens if we put it into our franchise? How do we put it into a bracelet, something really unique and different that maybe she hasn't seen before? And then we create content. A lot of what we do is our product actually comes with a card. The card puts a little bit of meaning into the product itself without over-defining it for her. And when she's going through her Instagram feed, or even in stores, we actually designed in-store displays that look like product grids or Instagram feeds. She connects with it. She can put her own meaning on it. She can convert, and now she's part of our tribe. So you really just want to think about, what are these moments in culture that are meaningful for you? How can you leverage data to find the ones that are relevant? And then can you deliver performance on it? Once we had that from a product perspective, the other thing was, I don't need to build inventory until I'm selling it for the most part. We don't have to build up a ton of inventory. It gives us a lot of flexibility. But the challenge I gave to the elite team and our acquisition team was, I need a framework that allows me to test content, that allows me to test product, that allows me to test audience, messaging, and then scale. So how do I go very quickly, rummage through a ton of different content, including product development, using social as an actual product development cycle, and then drive scale through it. So having this framework allows us to move very, very quickly. The results sort of speak for themselves. Year to date, traffic's up 76%. This cardinal bracelet, for people who are familiar with the cardinal symbolism, for many people it represents like seeing someone you may have lost or being with somebody even when you're not physically there with them. We were selling one of these a minute during holiday in 2018. We found the virality, we were able to scale the ads, and we blew it out. St. Patrick's Day, some results here. So really low CPA, tons of traffic driving, and it really has allowed us to scale our business this year. But acquisition just isn't enough. You know, I talked to you a little bit about the fact we were overspending, okay? You have to be a better brand, not just a better marketer. Acquisition is not enough. So for us, we sort of had this puzzle with the elite team, and we actually are leveraging them both on our email side as well as from our paid social side. And we sat down and we said, we need to focus on our consumer. We need to understand why they love us and how we can get more people to love us the way that those that are purchasing us 2, 3, 4, 5 times are. And really what we deconstructed was, if we could do two shifts in our business. Shift 1, increase average order value, 10%. Shift 2, shift the number of repeat purchasers versus one-time purchasers by 10%. So if we could shift that, we could actually decrease the amount of new consumers we had to acquire to grow 50% by 10,000. 2 KPIs, dead focus, decrease spend, drive significant returns. And guess what? It would make us a better brand because these consumers are purchasing us multiple times. We're focused on their experience. So what did we do? The first thing we did was we made it personal. We found a way to really create something that was unique out of our product proposition. And I'm sure these opportunities exist for you too. What can you do to actually make your product feel more one of a kind? We leveraged all the same components that were for sale on our platform, but we just gave her the opportunity to personalize her stack, to put the things together so it's boxed nicely, but it's unique and one of a kind because she's actually forming it together. The other thing we did was we actually just sort of simplified her experience. We looked at our data and we're trying to figure out how is she coming into our platform, what does she want? And we went from 5, 6 global nav elements to 4. We collapsed everything in, and then we also recognized she's coming to us to gift as a way to express that, you know, I know this individual and I want to give it to someone else. So let's make gifting really simple for her. Let's take, again, all the same components and reimagine them in a way that's going to enable her to get through our funnel faster. 2 really simple things that have significantly increased our performance on the platform, right? So 30% conversion rate increases, and a lot of times it's like more is more, less is more. Make it really simple, take barriers out of her way, and you'll find success with your consumer. And then the last thing we did was we put the whole funnel together. So our acquisition team and our CRM team are constantly engaging around, I don't just want to find any consumer. I want to find a consumer that has signals that look like my whales, the people that are purchasing me 3 or 4 times. We're early on in this process, but what it's actually allowed us to do, and this is some of our email creative, we actually don't do many promotions at all anymore to acquisition. In fact, I would discourage, if you can, doing so. We're actually leveraging this as value build for our best consumers. And you don't have to do a lot. It can be a GWP, it could be a free shipping, early access to product, or limited edition product. So really looking at that best consumer and saying, how are we building value for them? Segmenting what we do within our communications has proven to be significantly valuable for us. We've increased our repeat purchase rate by 47% this year. We're just becoming a better brand that's enabling her to love us for all the reasons we want her to, versus constantly chasing that acquisition churn. And of course, you got to do both, but if you can get those levels right, success can follow. For us, we're on a great trajectory for this year. Our revenues on our e-com side plus 80%, and we've decreased our spend as a percentage of net revenue by 15%. So my LTV to CACs are great, which my investors like. But really, for me, the message I would just have for you guys is like KPIs are outcomes, right? We're all focused on the outcome. It's really about the journey, the journey that you're on personally with your brand. Dig into it, really find out what makes your brand special, differentiate it, create value, and good things will happen. That's all I got. Thank you.